Yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
The world's just changed so radically, and we're all running to catch up. How can we possibly have the slightest idea what to expect? The best intentions. Some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
Dr. Malcolm, here to share a few campfire stories with my uncle.
You can convince the Washington Post and the Skeptical Inquirer of whatever you want. But I was there, I know what happened, and so do you.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Hello, welcome to episode 44 of Jurassic Minutes, the March issue, where we discuss recent movie, toy, and franchise news for the Jurassic series. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And we got a whole new wave of Lego sets to talk about this month. We got some more collectibles coming out celebrating JP30, and we got a little bit of a leak to talk about. We'll discuss it at the end. Not movie, bit of a toy leak. We just wanted to talk about it now and not wait for it to be official, but we'll get to that in a bit. David, on the topic of recent toy and prop purchases, I'll go first because I've got nothing. I don't think I picked anything up Jurassic related over March. Just paying off that T-Rex Prime 1 statue set. We've got the male Velociraptor coming soon too, so putting some money aside for that, and just waiting, buying my time for anything of interest to come up and purchase. But you've been spending some money. What have you picked up this month?
Mostly little bits and pieces. I got kind of sick of waiting on Target for the Geosternbergia and the Pachycephalosaurus. Apparently, stuff has been appearing in Best Buy, so I guess that Hammond Collection is not going to be Target exclusive anymore, which is interesting. And so I haven't found the Pachycephalosaurus yet, but the Geosternbergia was up on Amazon, so I picked that up and canceled that order with Target. As soon as I find the Pachycephalosaurus, I'm going to cancel that with Target, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a nice little figure. I'm kind of hoping I can find a way to attach some like fishing line or something on there to make it look like it's flying.
I've seen a few people doing that. Any of their flying animals, the Pteranodons, all that sort of stuff. Just putting a bit of fishing line around it and hanging them from ceilings or the tops of displays, shelves.
And so then I also saw somebody post this on Twitter. I can't remember who it was, but it's like this weird nameless company knockoff of the Pyroraptor, actually, from Dominion. It's got like all the colors right. The sculpt isn't like 100%, but it's still like within the ballpark. It's actually a bit bigger than I thought it would be. It's kind of like, it's a little bit bigger than it should be in Amber Collection scale, but if you're like pairing it with Claire or Owen, it wouldn't be scaled very badly, honestly.
Okay, nice.
I would say it's probably about 3/4 the size of the Raptor.
Yep. And it's just a Chinosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's actually got a nice paint though. It's a nice solid sculpt down there.
Yep. A lot cheaper too, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it was only like maybe $10 or so.
Yep. Oh, nice.
And then I finally broke down. This was one that I've been kind of going back and forth on for a while now. It's the T-Rex nightlight that has the T-Rex with the around the glowing amber, and it's not bad. I picked this one up at second hand off eBay since they're not really in stores anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really not bad. You press the button in the front, it glows for maybe about 20 minutes. I wish it was longer.
Is it a official thing, or is it?
Yes. Yeah. So it's got like a little base with like Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Velociraptor, T-Rex stuff on there. And it's interesting. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be Rexy, but it's kind of got a greenish tinge to it. So I mean, like, I guess I could kind of pretend it's the male T-Rex, but the sculpt isn't bad. The head is kind of the main focus, so it's way oversized. But yeah, press the button in front, it glows. I wish that it glowed longer though. So right now I'm just kind of have it on my shelf here. I have it on for ambiance. But 20
Oh,
minutes isn't long. Even as a kid, it wouldn't take me 20 minutes to fall asleep.
Is it so each base has got a sort of like an amber mountain behind the tail? It's standing in
Yeah,
front
the
of it?
tail kind of wraps around the front of it.
Yeah, right. I've just been madly Googling, trying to find images of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
these
so
were
it's
kinda
a
all over
Jurassic
my-
World. It was a Jurassic World release.
Yeah, these were all over my local Target when Dominion came out.
Yep.
And I kept walking by it and picking it up and looking at it, and eventually I was just like, screw it, I'll get one.
Oh, I see.
I don't
They've
think
done
I
a blue.
paid much. What's that?
I see here they'd made a blue one as well.
Yeah, they did. I heard the blue one's not as bright for some
Well,
reason.
it looks like a rocky mountain behind it instead of the amber, so
Yeah.
having the light sort of get through a non-transparent material, it doesn't not going to work too well.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and so then I also picked myself up the Dinosaurs of Jurassic Park book. It's an old bought it off of Goodwill, selling it through Amazon. Just an old tie-in book. Features the different dinosaurs. I haven't really read it yet. I just kind of thumbed through it for the pictures so far.
Yeah.
But it's got a couple. Again, it's one of those magazines where it pops up pictures that you can't find anywhere else. There's a picture of one of the designers. They don't name him, and I don't really recognize him. But you can see him intently staring at the Dilophosaurus maquette as he's sculpting it.
Oh, so it shows like the behind the scenes stuff as well.
Yeah, it does. Kind of lower towards the beginning, and then it gets into the various dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. That was going to be a question whether it focused on the dinosaurs as animals, so you'd only have sort of the concept art and shots of them from the movie, or if it went deeper and sort of the making of the animals from the film, which sounds like it is. So you'd have the animatronic for T-Rex and all that as well.
Yeah, it's one of those all aboard reading books, so it's made for like 7 or 8 year olds.
Oh yeah, yep.
This is the target range. It says in the corner here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then this last one I'm actually really excited about. It's I'm not sure if anybody else is familiar with MarcosMakes. He is the person that sculpts all those like custom mods that you can add to your Hammond collection dinosaurs, and he put out a Jurassic Park kind of like ultimate guide to the dinosaurs recently, and it's like a free download that he offered. And then I heard that he's also currently putting together, or recently released, I'm not sure which, or teasing the release of, I can't remember which, the same for Jurassic World.
Oh, nice.
And so he also makes like prints of his drawings and little sculptures and stuff. So I bought the male T-Rex off of him, a little sculpture, all completely painted, maybe about 6-7 inches long.
Yep.
It was kind of pricey, but it was worth every penny.
Well, yes. If there's a different version of the male T-Rex out there, I'm sure you'd be looking to get it.
Oh yeah. Well, he makes a bunch of different ones. It's on his Etsy. Let's see if we can bring that up. Here it is. I don't see a couple of the male T-Rex sold out right away. Like he had only 8 he had pre-made in stock. I was told that he's going to make another batch. He's going to do another batch later on. But what he has up right now is the Dilophosaurus, the male Velociraptor from the Lost World, Allosaurus, Carnotaurus, Giganotosaurus, Parasaurolophus from the first movie. He's basing this art, of course, on the concept art.
Yep.
That's kind of been tucked away, behind, passed around the fandom in secret. The Spinosaurus, the female Velociraptor from the third movie. The Triceratops, which is interesting because it's the unpainted, or it's the undirted one, so it's the actual original animatronic colors.
Oh, okay. Which again,
So
you have concept art for too, to get a better idea of the colors on it.
Yeah, I know it. I've actually had my eye on the Triceratops, the Parasaurolophus, and the Dilophosaurus, because the example paints that he's showing up on here are very, very nicely done. Like you got that nice bluish gray and white modeling on the Triceratops.
Oh, very nice.
And then we also got Baryonyx, Corythosaurus, Gallimimus, Pachycephalosaurus, the male velociraptor from the third movie, the female velociraptor from the first two movies, the Lost World Parasaurolophus, Jurassic Park 3 Ankylosaurus, the Compy, and the Brachiosaurus from the first movie.
A whole contingent of animals.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's got 20 different species here. He had, I think, 22 when I first visited the shop. I'm not sure what the other one is that sold out, but I know the male T-Rex was one of them.
Mm.
And so then it's like $38 for unpainted. You just get the scale model of it by itself and like a little custom box. And it's kind of cool because it's got like, it actually looks like it might be an actual product. It has the gate that says JP 30th anniversary on the top instead of Jurassic Park, and it's kind of surrounded with mountains in the background and palm trees. And then on the backside, it shows the different basic figure assortments. Let's see if we can see the one that sold out. The female Rexy. She's who sold out.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I mentioned her.
That makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't see her, so she must have sold out as well.
Yeah.
And then he's got a QR code. He's got like a fake barcode and a QR code that goes to his Etsy. So it's really cool. It's really involved. I think it's definitely worth every penny because the paint jobs on these look phenomenal. The sculpts look phenomenal. So I kind of doing an unsanctioned plug here. Yeah.
No, if the work speaks for itself, then yeah, why not?
Yeah, I've seen his stuff before. I think he's actually the one who did the custom feet on my T-Rex.
Oh, okay, yep.
So he was the supplier to the person who did our T-Rexes.
So we've already had a taste of his work before.
Yeah, and the sculpt on the feet is perfect. It blends seamlessly in with the rest of the figure.
Yes, unlike a figure we're going to talk about later.
Hey, where did you find those?
It walks under my seat.
Are they heavy?
Yeah.
Then they're expensive. Put them back.
All right, plug over. That's the end of what you picked up for March. Heading into some collectibles first off. Heading over to Amazon, the Noble Collection's got a couple of figures, collectible figures they're releasing to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. First thing we're looking at here is Noble Collection Life Finds a Way egg with the baby Velociraptor in it. Not bad bit of detail on it for a $30 item. It is only... No, it's not. Where was that size? 6 inches high and about 5.5 inches wide, so a little bit of size to it.
They're probably including the base and the height, so the Raptor's probably going to be maybe a little tiny bit underscaled to life size.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to picking this one up. This one and the next one we're going to be talking about.
Yep. Yeah, well, we may as well mention it while we're going. It's a statue of Blue, about 4 inches long, 3 inches high, 3 inches wide, and 5 inches high. So again, a little bit bigger than the egg, but very vibrant blue stripe down the side of her. Looks a hell of a lot better than what we got for the DVD box set release for the Ultimate set.
A lot better.
Yeah. So anyone that got burnt by that, and being that size, would probably sit pretty well beside your DVD collection as a bookend as well. So you'd be able to swap this out really easy.
Yeah.
Currently unavailable though, unfortunately, so no price. I'm guessing it'd be $30 as well, just going off the size.
Both of these are so far only been seen on Amazon, interestingly. They're part of Noble Collection's Collectable lines. And their Noble Collection, we've discussed before, their figures are usually pretty close to what we get in the final product. I have a couple things from them, like the mini statuettes that I think we've discussed in the show before. And I want to pick both the Raptor, or both both the baby raptor and blue up, just because they both look fantastic. They're great little kind of desktop collectibles you can probably put on the desktop or shelf, and they don't take up much room. And I think I asked Collect Jurassic on Twitter if they are going to actually end up being on the Noble Collections main website, because they're currently not. And he said, well, presumably they will be. So I'm crossing my fingers that they're not just like an Amazon exclusive. That'd be really weird for Noble Collection to have an Amazon exclusive item.
Yeah.
When they have when they've had their own website for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I remember sitting on the school bus with my friends, and when we drooled over the swords from Troy, the Troy movie, in the catalog.
Yeah, right. Okay. Back to 2004.
Yeah. I think they got the license first in either 2001 or 2.
Okay.
They were really early on the scene.
Yep. As you're saying, being a good little tabletop display, should mention too, they do have a bit of a display with them, with an image in the back. The raptor, of course, in that incubator with some eggs behind it, and Blue's got a bit of a jungle image behind her as well. And we should mention she's wearing
kind of nice.
Yeah, and Blue is wearing the video headset too that they're wearing when they go after the Indominus. So.
Oh yeah, she is, isn't she? I didn't notice that.
Which is a nice little detail. Even the sort of the washed out jungle image for her too, like it almost looks like it could be a nighttime shot. Just
I don't know. It's weird because it almost looks like more like a temperate rainforest in a way, but at the same time, it doesn't look like it's any image out of the Jurassic Park movies. It looks like they might have had somebody either pull a stock image or something.
Yeah.
The egg photo looks like they might have taken from a behind the scene photo of some sort. I'm not sure.
Just with how close to the exit is.
This one? What's that?
Just with how close to the exit actually is.
Yeah. For all we know, maybe Universal supplied them a stock photo to use.
Yeah, possibly. So as both of these are on Amazon, you're going to pick them up. I'm going to see if I can get these through Amazon Australia as well, because they'll be a nice little figure to collect.
Mr. Kirby, tell me, when you climbed K2, did you base camp at 25 or 30,000 feet?
30,000 feet. We're pretty close to the top.
You're about 1,000 feet above it, actually.
No, that's a common mistake.
The only other figure we got to talk about here is, and we can be brief on it. There's another Indominus Rex coming, the Camouflage and Battle Indominus Rex. Light up ability. I think there's greens inside that lights up. Another good looking Indominus Rex mold from Mattel. Keeping those repaints and redos of current figures coming.
I've seen pictures of this one in hand. Somebody in the comments said that they don't care for the color tone being different from the body and arms. In the one in hand, you couldn't notice the difference in the color tone between the body and the tail, legs, and limbs.
Oh, okay.
But I remember the color thing. It's just, I think either it turns green and then it turns, I think, red or purple. It's very similar to the Hasbro one, but of course much better done.
But yet again, we're still, and we talked about that when we've discussed the Hasbro one, just that early concept of the color, what that whole idea was, and it was of course never seen in the film with the camouflage or whatever's going on there. So they're still continuing that on into the current figures for the Indominus anyway. But
the green, I suppose, is similar to when it turned green to camouflage in with the trees in the scene where the yellow, it can camouflage. But the other colors, I'm not so sure on. And Hasbro had the same thing. I'm guessing there's something in like a toy in a brand guide or something that's handed to the makers by Universal that says, okay, this is the colors we want you to include in the toy.
Yeah. And just checking out the Amazon page, it's sold out as well, so no price on that. I don't mind the Indominus figures that they've been bringing out, so I'll probably pick this one up if I find it in stores.
The Indominus Rex, our first genetically modified hybrid.
Well, how did you get two different kinds of dinosaurs to,
Oh, Indominus wasn't bred. She was designed. She will be 50 feet long when fully grown. Bigger than the T-Rex.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about Lego. We've probably had this conversation before, but Dave, did you pick up any of the Jurassic World or any of the movie Lego that was released?
I did. I picked up the Jeep the blue one when that first came out, and the Raptor. Or no, I'm sorry, the T-Rex recapture set.
Ah, yes, yep, rightio. Well, that's all right. It's good that you got that Jeep because I want to talk about it, comparisons of what we're going to get here in a minute. But first up, the big set for Jurassic 30, of course, is the Visitor Centre. We're hoping something like this was going to come along. Reading through a lot of the comments on Facebook, not a lot of people happy with just the simplicity of it and the price, which you have a look at. Even you wander down the Star Wars or even the Avatar logo and all that stuff, the bigger sets have got a lot more basic, a lot less parts count, but the price has definitely gone up. On the licensed stuff, so it's a shame they have to pay the license. It's good that we're getting something else Jurassic in Lego because we've had the Explorer or the T-Rex Breakout set recently, going back to the big set of gates that come out as well, and I'm going to say the Jurassic Legacy set or whatever it was called with the control room and hatchery. That little,
yes.
Yeah, which had a lot of detail as well.
Mm-hmm.
This, you can see the Visitor Centre in it. You get the T-Rex, you get a Raptor, you get Tim, Lex, Grant, Ray, Wu, and Ellie, and you get a fossil T-Rex as well that you can break apart in the fight. Interestingly, you don't get to see the back of the box or the back of the Visitor Centre, so I don't know what sort of detail is going to be in there. Obviously, there's got to be somewhere for that skeleton T-Rex to peg in there, or maybe not.
It looks like we get a shot of, a partially covered shot of the backside on the Amazon link.
Okay.
And it looks like we've got Wu in his lab on one side and the cafeteria on the other. So where Lex and Tim are eating their pudding and stuff.
Ah, yes, okay. And we've got a When Dinosaurs Rule the Earth banner on the inside. Okay, so there's a little bit there. That's that's there. That's better than nothing, I suppose. It does suffer a lot of the same issues as the Lockwood Manor, the Lockwood Estate set that come out for Fallen Kingdom, where it's just there's no space. You've got a single spot for a figure to stand in there and a table or something, and that's it.
I'm probably gonna restate this sentiment a couple more times with talking about the Legos here, but I know I'm in the minority when I say this, but I'm feeling underwhelmed with all of them, and I know they're supposed to be focused for kids, but at the same time, when I first heard about the Visitor Center, they didn't have a price point. It was just an over $100. I didn't know how much over, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more kind of than just the facade of the Visitor Center of the front. And a couple little things on the inside. I feel like they could have done more here. They could have maybe would have raised the price a little bit, but it's already $130 for this. You might as well just have gone all out. I mean, there's the gate that came, and there was the T-Rex, the breakout, and then there was the breakout T-Rex set that they had, and those were all very fantastically done. And I mean, they were kind of expensive, but they were really well done. And these,
you could see the money in it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think the price. I felt the price was more justified for those than it was for these, and I feel like most of the price on these is going into features that you're not seeing, like the kind of the way they constructed the thatching on the roof, and the skeleton was kind of unnecessarily overpieced. And there's a couple other ones that I feel like in the same with these figures, and we'll talk about them as we get to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a discussion with someone when this came out online. You've got like the expensive Technic stuff too, where they've got Dom's Charger as a tie-in for Fast and the Furious. There, like, why can't we have an Explorer and a Jeep in Lego Technic?
Exactly.
That high end collector, well, high end price point anyway.
And that focuses in on not just Jurassic Park fans and Lego collector fans. It also adds in the car fans too, because I mean, you have gearheads, they're gonna go out and buy a Dom's Charger Lego set. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they'd be crazy not to. I'm not even a gearhead, and there's car things on that I'm like, wow, that's so detailed. I want that.
Yeah,
you know,
there's already Land Rovers. There's already Land Rovers in that they've made in Technic.
Mm-hmm.
And they look fantastic. So why can't we have a couple of these iconic vehicles?
They made a lot of different vehicles. I remember they made a Liebherr crane one time. That was really cool. Yeah, I was actually considered getting it for my uncle who owns a crane company, but then I'm like, nah, he won't want to build that. He's 60.
Well, we'll bring up the White Star Elephant in the room, the Titanic that you picked up last Christmas. Same sort
I
of thing.
wanted that so badly, and my parents were like, "Hell no, I am not spending $600 on a Lego set for you." I'm like, "But I want it." That's like the only thing I put. I think that was like the main thing I put on my list that year too.
Yeah, like I'm looking up.
Do you want anything else, please?
I'm looking at my Lego shelf here in my son's room now, where I'm recording from, like space shuttles, all the Star Wars, even the Star Wars ships and that. They've got the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that to a point now where it's almost as detailed in Lego as it is if you'd brought a model of it. Sometimes they can get detail in with the Lego so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the money spent on Star Wars.
Oh yeah, they definitely go all out for Star Wars. But that's their moneymaker as well. You know, I mean, that's their bread and butter line, license line right there. Yeah. There's people who collect just Lego Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny because I remember when there was Comic-Con, or not the Comic-Con, Star Wars Celebration in Chicago one year, a couple of years back. And I think it was one of the anniversaries to Lego having the Star Wars license. They had a couple of the old, like that first couple of years, the Phantom Menace, the 1998, 99 Lego system stuff. And I'm looking at it and it's kind of sitting there like it's almost a museum piece. And I'm like, my childhood is a museum piece now.
Yeah, well, that's why I collect all this stuff so I can have my childhood still. Yeah, so $130 for the Visitor Center set. It is a 12 plus set, so you've got the other issue there where it is something built for sort of older kids, young teenagers, but the higher price point that parents still have to fork out to pay for as well. The next set we're going to look at quickly is the Triceratops Rescue set, which gives us an Explorer, a Trike, another Ellie, an Ian Malcolm, and that big pile of shit. Interesting here, I haven't got the images to compare whether this is the same Explorer we got in that T-Rex breakout set or not. I'm going to say no, because when we get to the Jeeps in a minute, these vehicles seem to be a lot smaller than previous releases, which again is a shame. You're making them as small. Before we get to the Jeep, anything on the Trike, this set, again, it's a lesser set, probably a $19, $20 set.
It's the Triceratops set is priced at $50, and honestly, God. Yeah, they really could have, instead of including the pile of Lego dinosaur poop, that could have been one piece, and they could have put more pieces into the Explorer, I think.
Yeah,
you know, to justify that price range, because Lego prices per piece.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then, you add for licensed items, you add the licensing fee on top of that, but the main bulk of their pricing is based on per piece. It is something like it's nominal. It's not insane. But this has only got like 281 pieces, but still.
It would have been perfect to have either a Gennaro or a Harding in this set.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad we don't get a set of brown replaceable arms for Ellie. I'm glad that's sort of come and gone. But we do get a shovel for Ian, so he gets to shovel some of that shit. Moving on to the next set, the Dilophosaurus ambush set. Here we get just the Jeep, the Dilophosaur, and the East Dock sign, which is a nice little collectible with a little bit of jungle on it. And here we can sort of bring up the Jeeps. You mentioned earlier that you'd got the Jurassic World one. Mm-hmm. It was just a nice, on the larger size vehicle. It looked like a Jeep. I know Customize that got rid of the blue lines on it and put the red Jeep lines on it to customize them as Jurassic Park Jeeps. But now we've got...
Yeah, this one I'm not, like you, I'm not so hot on.
Yeah, well, we compare this and... Oh, no, where's that? Well, compare this and the Brachiosaur Encounter as well, Brachiosaurus Discovery, which is a $79 piece. You've got exactly the same Jeep mold or Jeep build between the two, just Nedry's has got the canopy on the back where the other one doesn't. It's got the rear seat, obviously, where you can't fit two characters in these side by side. They haven't got the room.
No. And before we get to the Brachiosaurus one, somebody actually did post the old Jeep in the comments section, and it's a fairly nice. It's a fairly nice Jeep, and it's like you said, it's a little bit bigger than this one. And they commented that set was only $10 more, and for that you got a bigger Jeep, a gyrosphere. That's two vehicles. You got this a slightly more vibrant color. Dilophosaurus that's generally otherwise the same set, more accessories, and 2 minifigures. So yeah, there's definitely been a price adjustment here.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that you creating the canopy means that they use more pieces, but at the same time, the other one probably used just as many pieces, if not more, even though it doesn't have the canopy, you know? It has like a little weird when they were doing those flingy discs where you press the back of it and the disc flings off and the missile fires, the flicky missiles that they did.
Yep. But at least those Jurassic World Jeeps, you could fit two characters. You could put Owen and Claire or whatever, two characters side by side in the seats. If it was Jurassic Park for the next set, you could put Owen and Ellie in the back seat and just have a random piece as the driver and Gennaro or whatever. Just you could load the Jeep up instead of just having two minifigs in it and that's it. Well,
talking about the Brachiosaurus Discovery set,
we'll move into that one.
Most of the pieces count on that one is for a tree.
Yeah.
That just feels really, really unnecessary. Like you said, we could have had a bigger Jeep, better one that could fit more minifigures in it, and maybe even added additional articulation to the Brachiosaurus, which seems to be just two main pieces here. Looks like the mouth moves, but other than that, you get a solid body. The tail probably moves, the neck moves, and the mouth moves, and that's it.
Yeah, and that weird neck joint on it too. So it looks like Freddy's bone near it. And slashed it. But you do get, I'm guessing you get the free minifigs with this. You get Grant, Ellie, and Hammond as well with this set. Sort of $80. It's getting hard. But I think this is another one of the 6 and up sets as well. The last set we're going to talk about, the Velociraptor Escape, is one of the 4+ sets, which is pretty much your real kiddie stuff. Raptor gets sort of a segment of Raptor enclosure. I don't know if that's Ellie or Lex on an ATV, and it would be Ellie.
It's supposed to be Ellie.
Yeah, because you got Robert Muldoon too, not with the Spaz 12, but with their standard tranquilizer dart pistols that they've released since Jurassic World. $34 for this is way too much. It should be a $20 set all day.
Yeah, at most. I mean, it does look like a fun little set. It looks like something I would have picked out when I was a kid for maybe $10, $15. But now, I mean, of course, nowadays price inflation, but not $35.
Yeah, I didn't mention when we we're talking about recent prop stuff that we picked up at the start, but I've just been waiting. A lot of the Dominion Lego now, and even Dominion figures are starting to go on clearance, and they're going up for half price. And all the Lego sets are still there, so I'm not going to miss out. And I'm quite happy picking that stuff up for half its price and what came out originally for some of it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be the same with this. Whether it gets to local retail here or not, it probably won't. So I won't get to see it go on clearance. But I think looking at all 5 sets, yeah, if I can find the visitor center one, maybe. But I don't think I'll be racing out to pick any of these other sets up.
Yeah, I'm not going to be picking up any of these sets either. It's kind of a shame because I was looking forward to some of the 30th anniversary sets.
Especially when they've done so much better stuff before.
Yeah.
It just, it boggles the mind why. Yeah, anyway. Marketing price, there's something involved there behind the scenes.
You can't shave 3 days off my deadline, expect everything to be ready. I'm not fully supplied. I haven't field tested any of this.
Finally, we have our leak. A couple of weeks ago, I've got someone posted this up on one of the Facebook groups, and I asked you, David, if it was real because I couldn't really believe it at the time. We have a male T-Rex, an M-Class Mercedes, and a Ian Malcolm from the Lost World figure coming from Mattel. I believe the Ian and M-Class are the Legacy line.
Yes, I believe that as well. As well. This is actually a really nice set. The T-Rex is kind of wonky in the paint. Especially, I mean, I almost feel kind of like it's cheaper than the regular Legacy T-Rex that the first one we had, the green one. But other than that, I mean, the new head sculpt is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It uses the extreme chomping body, but it looks like it has a newer head sculpt.
Yep.
Which I'm kind of happy that they did.
Yeah, well, it's just not just another repaint. It's sort of, I suppose, like a lot of the Mattel figures, it touches the basics. It's green, obviously. You got that little bit of a yellow and darker color spine on it, even though it only seems to go from the back of the neck to the front of the hips and not all the way along or up over the head. The sort of lighter colored jaw. Unfortunately, the same painted green toenails as the rest of the leg, but again, just a good basic figure to start, and you'd be able to customize it up really well with some extra paint. I'm glad we got a new Ian, an Lost World version of Ian, the shorter hair, the jacket on.
It is nice seeing the Lost World Ian in this.
I was trying to think too, the only difference between the grants between the Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3 grant they done on the figure was the change of clothes. I'm pretty sure it was the same head sculpt and everything else. Which I suppose it's
at that scale, you're not going to really notice any added wrinkles or anything anyway.
Well, no. But the M-Class, I think it looks pretty spot on to Eddie's open back M-Class that was used in the film.
Yeah, I did notice that they added an additional box of whatever that is, maybe battery box or whatever those are, at the top there. But at the same time, other than that, it looks great. It's clearly the star of the set.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, and I wonder if that's just a generic thing they're going to have on multiple versions of this. If we're going to get another version, which is the one they take to get the T-Rex. Yeah.
I hope they do.
And then hopefully there's something
my
bigger.
RV? Come on.
Yes, I hope there's something bigger. This gives me hope for the RV. The paint looks good. Obviously, they've made the front bumper that sort of lighter color just to make it stand out a bit. The wheels, the right tires, the rims, bars over the windows. It looks fantastic.
It does.
Front brush bars.
That's another thing is the bars on the window was originally from the other Mercedes Benz. It's almost like they kind of merged the two into this.
Yep.
So I'm not. I mean, besides those minor little nitpicks, you can trim those off with an X-Acto blade. If it really bothers you that much.
Yep. No, I'm happy. Of course, this is just a leaked image of these figures, so we haven't got a price. We haven't got box art. We know they've sort of done different things with their boxes before. I'd love a bit of the Lost World novel homage with the box on this and have it like a shipping container, the M class, and the figure comes out of like they'll transport to the island originally in the Lost World
that
novel.
would be cool.
Yeah, I don't think you do. Well, it might be just on an open front thing like the Roland set was, or the Nedry set. So we'll wait and see next month when we come back for news. Hopefully, we'll have official images. We might see some playability out of the car. I don't know what. Well, it'd be great if the roof come off, but I don't think it does. It doesn't
That's
look
going
like
to be
any.
in the second release.
Yeah. Well, look at how many times they're releasing the Explorer now. So why not? Why not? Give me 5 or 6 of them. I'll take them. I'll take them all. But that is the end of our news for March. A little bit to discuss there. Luckily, still some things trickling through. A couple of months away from the big anniversary itself, so we might see what else. Hopefully next month we get some ideas from Universal if they've got any plans for the 30th, because they've been pretty quiet for the most part.
Yeah.
But Dave, that'll do us for episode 44, March. We'll get out of here and we're back next week with minute 39. No, minute 40 of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.